either way, if we start here, can't connect. Yes?
Going back to the solution that we just had.
Yes.
So, yeah, and then
White resisting, I don't even remember.
connecting. No, wait. Yeah, and then black tries to cuts.
Yeah.
White tries to high underneath.
Right.
Black blocks.
Yeah.
White dissenter.
Make
Yeah.
some sort of IP.
Black next.
Yeah.
If white just descends now at, I think that's a 310 point, is that sente?
This is sente, yes. Then what?
Then he highs the other one? Oh, it's still not, okay.
Is there enough here?
Can't you just high back? To
Can I
avoid-
No,
high
no.
back? If I high
Yeah.
back, I'm going to get a color.
Okay,
Right?
throw in- Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be a go.
Isn't there going to be some tricky stuff with him pushing out after that then?
No! No, there is not. If he pushes out here, I can take this, which is a
Use
target,
no
or I can play here, which is also a target. I think actually this is the simplest. Now I can high without fear of him cutting because he's out of liberties.
Okay. Makes sense.
Take this, here, take this. I didn't worry too much.
Mhm.
Interestingly, white hasn't increased his liberty control.
Right.
Okay, last problem of these that I want to talk about. Again, takes me way too long to set up. Let's see. So we were talking how many people played games this past week? A lot of people played games. How many of those were rated games? How many people looked at those rated games afterwards to like find the mistakes? This is fewer hands, but still some. All right, that's promising. That's promising. How many people found mistakes in their rated games?
I was like losing one game. It was a 2-stone handicap game, and the opponent just resigned halfway through. It's
They
weird.
just they were just like,
I didn't think I was ahead. Right? It seemed like a tough game for me still.
maybe they had to go. Telephone goes off. Can't be sure. Oh, it always takes so long to put in problems, too. All right. So this one actually, though, segues nicely into what I want to talk about loose ladders and nets. And sort of one of the shapes that's fundamental. Let's see, do I have any other important announcements? I will be playing another game against Nick Sabicki in 2 weeks at the Monday night class. You guys caught the first one of the entertaining. All right, so this is close enough to the problem. The question is white to try and connect underneath. Oh, man. You got this one wrong, too.
No way.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Wait. So close. So close. You're in good company, though, because the other strong student in the class here, Dan, also missed it.
I
So
don't know if I believe that.
you are so close. Oh, no, wait, you got this one right.
Yeah.
You can't read your right.
I got that.
Yeah, it's hard to write little
All
numbers.
right, so how do we do this? What's the important nut of the problem here?
Start on the first line.
We've got the push, which we can't do immediately because we will be out of liberties, right? Just push and cut. Now he plays his target himself. So we want to start on the first line. What's the difference between these two? Yes.
When the stone gets captured, it will take a liberty from one of them.
Right. If you do it wrong, you end up taking your own liberty, which one's the wrong one?
The wrong one was the one you just tried.
This one here. Yes, that's right. So the idea is we go here, and we push through, and we're feeling really clever. We can pick up stones with the magnets. And as soon as we play this, we're like, ha-ha! Oh, crap. Pretty straightforward problem, though. If we start this way, which incidentally is good from that same co-thread theory, the idea of putting less risk. Like if at any point, he decides to play this as a co-thread, right? Because black, of course, is nobody's fool and isn't going to block, right? The right move for black now is Tanuki, but if he doesn't, come through. Another stone without a magnet. And now, when black captures this, right? Everybody can visualize this whole sequence from here? Most importantly, the difference between these two things. Because this is going to bring me to the shape that I really want to talk about today. First of all, which is it's one of my favorite shapes. Who knows what to do here? General proverb, what do we do?
Extend.
We extend, right. Which one do we extend on? Well, that depends on a lot of things, but let's assume we extend. This is like one of those basic shapes, and in this case I'm going to get there by talking about a few other basic shapes that have happened. So, here's a net. Everybody knows this is a net. And that when you try and push out, black gets captured, right? You almost never see these. Like everybody's learned, okay, this is a net. That's it, we're done. And they sort of forget that that's really related to this shape here, right? Here's a really important shape as well. Everybody's seen this. Everybody's seen this at some point. That's the same shape that happened down here, right? Everybody knows black has to jump out this way. Can't jump out this way, otherwise things get old really quickly. Right? We're assuming, by the way, that these stones all are very important and can't be given up lightly because they are cutting stones, right? You can't lose your cutting stones. It's just one of those things. You can't do it. And so folks have seen that this way is, how black develops the stones out here. And what people, I think, sort of don't realize is happening is that this is a net, right? One of the other interesting problems everybody's seen many times, crane's nest problem, right? Which is a net. It's not usually advertised as a net, but it is indeed a net. In fact, you could even say that this is sort of a degenerate form of crane's nest, where black has even one fewer liberty, which is like a net, where black insists on pushing out, right? Here's another net, which everyone sort of glosses over because crane's nest is exciting because it's like the edge of where that kind of falls apart as an obvious net, right? Like if you could make a longer one, and you could say that at some point, these arms on the side will be tall enough that no matter what black does, he can't get out. I don't know if that's 4 or 5. I don't know if they need to be symmetrical at that point. Still a net, same idea, right? So I don't think people really realize that this is also a net, but it is. So far, so good? So one of the things that we all know is we learned that we can do this, right? So the first chapter in tsuji, nets, and a lot of tsuji that are related to nets. He calls this one the slapping tsuji. Has everybody seen this? Right? Doesn't necessarily work here in this case, but this stone was one line longer. This group was one line longer. Now that becomes a really effective tsuji for capturing the stones.
Just when it's getting interesting.
That's right. We saw the technical interruption. So the other thing that we know is that when we add stones on this side, for instance, now this jump doesn't work. White has the possibility to push through, right? And just ladder, right? Right? People can read this, right? So you can do all of these things, and you start having to do all of these things here, the crosscut, right? Black, white first, I don't care. Right? The other tsuji in there, in addition to the loose net, the ladder, one of the ones that he puts on there also is the nose tsuji, which is a little bit more funky. Funky fresh. Let's see. Which is that when black sees that this one doesn't work, he knows he has to get out trying this one. And the nose tsuji comes in handy here. Right? Kind of sets up a loose ladder. These are all really related to the loose ladder which is really related to the idea of the net, which is really related to the idea of, I don't know what I want to call this, extending after a crosscut, right? Extending after a crosscut. Interesting in the middle of the board. Also becomes really, really interesting when you move it to the top of the board. Specifically between the third line and the fourth line. Happens all the time. When we do our opening starts third line stones, fourth line stones. And then when we, play crazy ass attachment moves, this happens all the dang time. What's interesting about extending after a crosscut is it threatens to ladder one of the stones, right off the bat. Everybody knows that. At the top of the board, it also threatens to capture the other stones. Right? Same shape. Okay, so with all of that, as the preamble for loose ladders, I've got a sheet full of loose ladder problems. I'm going to put up one of the harder ones on the board, and then I guess if folks want to do that sheet of problems right now or not, we have an example of a pro game where these basic ideas of extending ladders basically drives the whole game until it's over after 80 moves. So when a pro game ends after 80 moves, it's kind of exciting because somebody done messed up. This gets the shirt. All right, so let's give me a second here. I'll grab this other problem. So the problems this week are loose ladder problems. I have 10 copies. I have more than 10 people.
Fight to the death.
And Kinko's is possible.
Do you have a PDF you can send out?
What was that? Yeah, I'll send out the PDF.
Okay.
I mean, Jason and I can.
You don't have to give one to me.
I wasn't gonna. You don't get one, Peter. I'm sorry.
Usually
do
we do
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is the single-digit Q class, not the low Dan
There are
class.
10 people other than me. I thought it'd be perfect. Unless you need one.
Yeah,
Well, I
right.
was wondering if you were doing the.
So,
I had to.
Yeah, there are 11,
I was
including.
wondering about number.
It turns out Go players are really bad at
oh,
it.
okay.
Some of
I
them.
have not finished last week's
All
problem.
right, let's do this.
It'll work. We can manage. I'll just memorize them.
I think it's fine.
Just
All right, well,
glance at the sheet. I
tell you
know.
what, let's start with one of the easy
I
ones.
could reproduce that easily.
These are the next.
That's
Oh no, I didn't know that one yet. It's tricky to pick. It looks tricky. Yeah, I couldn't pick it.
Okay, so pretty basic idea. Pretty basic idea. Loose ladder. Oh gosh. Can everybody visualize the whole sequence from here? Does anybody need me to go through it? Let's go through it anyway. Because I'm now going to say, does this change the sequence?
Yep.
Yeah. Important, right? Number of liberties is important. So remember we're talking about a couple things for reading. Visualizing, holding the whole position in your head, counting the liberties once you've done that, right? Pretty big difference. I should, instead of adding this much, maybe. Makes it a little bit more. So what are we looking at? What are we looking at? All right, so what we're looking at, for starters, is the loose ladder sequence beginning here. This down here, the idea is to point out that ladder doesn't work, right? So that's why we're putting that right there. And we assume we're reading that black is going to resist and try and extend out and gain liberties. And what we want to read, first of all, is the observation we can't play here, because now this isn't actually a ladder. You can't just play the normal zigzag because these cutting points will be Atari. So white has to go on this side, right? And with a similar idea, since this isn't a ladder, we also don't want to do this early because we aren't going to be able to do those zigzags later in our culture, right? So we need to do this again. But here we sort of are going to run into this problem where if we block from the outside again, now we sort of have this problem where we squeezed our own liberties out. So at the edge of the board here, we're going to switch for 1, and then come across like this, and the sequence ends. Black never gets any liberties. It's very sad. Nobody likes him. All of his stones die. Right? This is the sequence. So that's why this liberty is really important, because otherwise, this white stuff's gone. Okay, so pretty cool. Loose ladders. Basic technique happens all the time. All the time. If I said, when was the last time you played a loose ladder? It should be, oh yeah, my game yesterday. Started the loose ladder. Let's see, what was the other one? Let's see, we have a couple of good problems for loose ladders. I know, this feels interminable. Probably. You know, I tried doing these digitally where we have them on the projector, and that just worked even worse. So, black to not die.
Bottom left.
Bottom left. Yeah, no, this is the bottom left here. This is tumble. Continues. What did I learn? I learned last night that the best move, the best opening move is. So what I'm saying is this one. Not this one. This is what we firmly established. This is this one. We have it?
Yes.
Yes. Got it. Yes, got it. You're sure?
Yes.
You're surely sure.
Surely sure.
Surely sure. All right. Everybody?
Sure.
Okay.
Push through.
Push through. Right. Can't just give up. Now what?
Now, set up the map.
Jump ahead. Yep.
Mm.
It's over. What could go wrong? Okay, loose ladders. How many people have heard the proverb, make the sacrifice bigger? Loose ladders are really crucial for that one as well. There's a number of shape-making ones where you set up a loose ladder that doesn't quite work, but it has the advantage of forcing their every move because they only have 2 or 3 liberties. Right? Some problems this week that have that. And the other one here that I want to do, last one. Okay, so. This was slightly tricky. Slightly tricky. Okay, there's your problem.
Are these from the sheet or are these separate?
No, these are separate.
Okay.
These are separate. These ones are too hard for the sheet. The sheet is half dozen, a dozen, fairly straightforward ones. Should be able to get them. Again, these are supplemental to the work that you should be doing, which is as many problems as you can in that 15 to 30 second range to really sort of drill them, make it second nature that you see them. Right? So far, so good? So if you're doing your problems should either be practicing visualization, which are like these long net and ladder problems where you have to read out 25 moves and hold that all in your head, or they should be ones that you're drilling very quickly, right? There's another type of, another theory of doing Tsumego, which is you should be trying the really hard ones with the idea that they build your stubbornness and determination, like the ones that take you 15 minutes to do them, that you'll sit there and you'll stare at them until you understand the secrets of the universe. may not be the most efficient use of your time, but you know, it's just similar to like, I was hit, so I'm gonna hit other people and they're gonna have to learn that way. So, I have suffered, so other people also need to suffer. I don't know. Maybe you get a lot out of that kind of study. And maybe there is a point where that is a good lesson learned. How many people got this one? It's a little tricky, right? One of those questions where we're setting up those loose ladders, that idea of when do we jump ahead? How many folks did my original net and ladder problems? Yes, yes, yes. You guys did my original net and ladder problems. Were you guys around for the original net and ladder problems we did? It was in July or June.
Yeah.
I'll post those as well. We'll do those original net and ladder problems. That's some good stuff on stuff. Did you get them?
Was there a folder left here last time, by the way?
Yeah, it was.
Do you have
Was
that?
it yours?
Yeah, it was.
I think Brian thought it was mine. So how many folks have got this one down there?
I think so.
Ooh.
Anybody? No hands? Nobody? Hey, what color is the folder?
Blue?
Blue?
No, whatever. Wait. That might not be it. That was
It has
maybe-
papers inside to say Harley Montgomery.
Yeah, that's mine. Thanks.
What do we think? Atari. Atari!
No.
No.
Jump out ahead one?
Jump out ahead one. Then what happens?
Hit him in the head. Knock him in the
Right?
nose. Punch him in the face.
These are technically part of the problem.
That's,
They don't really matter. So, right here, you hit him on the head.
do the black.
Blackstone. More help. Alright, so I gotta go this way. Here. We got this? Can you see it from here? Can you see it from here? Whole deal? The whole schmear? Now which way?
One more.
Alright, we gotta go this way. If we go this way, we're gonna end up catching ourselves. Because they have time to make this a target. So close. I knew I was gonna get at least somebody on that. Gotta go this way. Now we can turn. Alright?
But when you hit them on the head, can you play underneath one more time?
Play underneath
So,
one more time. So right here,
yeah,
I go
can you
this
do
way.
it there again? I don't know if it would be like a benefit.
How do you finish?
Play on top.
Play on top.
To go down. I guess you're not not controlling them as much anymore.
Yeah, not only are you not controlling them as much, with this here, they only need to get 3 liberties
Mm-hmm.
to be winning. So if you're gonna go this way, now you're gonna fall apart here, Atari, push through problems, right? Or, I don't even know which one you got this. Go this way,
Too many liberties.
similarly, you play here, they're gonna come back here and win the race.
Okay, thanks.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So that's loose ladders. You got a bunch of loose ladder problems. I'll do up some more of the connection problems. We do want to do connection problems. How many folks are interested in doing the intensive Korean problem book problems? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. I'll figure out how to make copies. All right. And then for the last part, we've got this pro game, which features some crazy close-in fighting. And then we've also got, if y'all are interested, the 2-stone game I played with Nick last night, or with Frank. Frank, I bet you know Frank Lano. Yeah, you
That
remember
was
that?
crazy.
Yeah,
That was so
it
silly.
was a little ridiculous, but it all came
I didn't
down
realize that was just done. That was
to
easy.
fighting. No, that was normally we play.
I don't understand me like still
All
want.
right, we're gonna take a little break here.
Thanks.
Yep. Get some water. I need to pull up the pro game. Folks want to stretch their legs. These are a little strange.
Who is playing here?
This is Lee Changho versus somebody in the 2001 BC Card Cup.
It's like black's making quite a bit down there.
It does, except for white is going to come diving in.
Nothing.
Oh, first it's more important for me to do this, right? And then white has to answer that here. Then black is gonna jump out on top,
Got it.
but not until he first makes white even more over-concentrated. So, I know that folks experimented with this, we haven't seen that pattern, but it's at this point that becomes a little bit more interesting. So, white wants to exploit the aji here, which is why he plays this shape as an idea of setting up some shortage, maybe being able to push here. I don't really know. Good question, because his plan kind of goes awry once black cuts. Squeak. No really good ways to deal with that. He sort of tries to set up the shape. If he plays this one, I imagine the hane here leaves behind some really painful possibilities. Black maybe can cut over directly and connect out here. So when white plays here, black plays a really severe move. The idea being that we're going to make it really hard for this white group to make eyes. This is kind of in dire straits here. It also would be really terrible if white gets sealed in, so white comes out this way. And right here is where white makes a kind of fateful decision. And they have to look about 80 moves in. So first of all, here's that crosscut. So black's going to extend. He's going to probably extend from the stone that's in the most danger, which is going to be this one. Going to start here. He's not just doing this blindly. It's no good if you're going to lose one of your two halves, you better, do it right. You don't want to do that lightly, and you want to get rid of it. If you have to get rid of it, you might as well get rid of it in the best way possible. So, like, for instance, if he played something like this, it's a little hopeful to think that white is going to just go along with this plan. But maybe white doesn't have anything better to do. In any event, black plays here, and this is where white sort of ends up in some trouble, because when white plays here and extends, and then resolutely plays here, if black can do anything to get this stone, then it's almost game over. So, sure enough, Atari happens. So it's very interesting, I think, to see a reading mistake between two professionals like this. So once we've done this here, we can't just do this, because white getting this is probably too good. So we're going to come out on this side. Right? Outside is better than inside. We're going to stay on the outside. Right?
Is there another push by black?
Nope, not yet. Go back over that. So, white here,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
right?
So in there.
Yes. So black doesn't want to switch on this side. Come back.
Yeah.
Did I drop this one?
Yes.
And here again, also black is going to stay on this side. The idea being that he wants to make white capture these, seal him in, and get overwhelming victory. That's the plan. So white hanes cuts. There's like not really a lot of room for anybody to screw up here at this point. So here again, this is kind of forced. We don't want to do anything like this. That's terrible. Okay? So black has to make a choice here. Oh, liberties. 4 liberties, 3 liberties. If white cuts here, 3 liberties, but this is kind of like 4 liberties, because white has to make the decision to cut. So black sees that he's got this great move available. so he can play here, keeping white at 3 liberties. It's very interesting. So white has to play here. I mean, otherwise he's just gonna die. Oh, excuse me. First white plays here, figuring out what black's gonna do. The nose to tsuji. Why the nose to tsuji? Well, he's saying you're not gonna get more than 3 liberties. You can't get more than 3 liberties. If you get more than 3 liberties, you're gonna be able to cut and win here or play here, and I can't stop both of those, so I have to keep you at less than 3 liberties. 3 or less liberties. Right? If we play this way, white plays here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got enough. Right? So the nose to tsuji or nothing. Right? I'm gonna come back here. And again, this is forced. None of the black doesn't really have any choices anywhere here. Right? Before white extends here, first white cuts. Make it as severe as possible. I guess the idea is that if black captures now, white can play here, another nose to tsuji, and win the race against these guys. But black doesn't take the stones off the board. He plays here. Here, he plays 2 different. So white cuts and black descends, and now this is it. It's going to be over really soon, you can tell. White comes out. White comes out here. Black blocks. Now we go. This is just crazy. Can everybody see what white is aiming at doing? Ladder building? Yes? No? Maybe? Black's back here, it's white's turn. They give black 2
Yeah,
liberties.
you see.
White
Aiming and trying to bust out on top.
Okay, so when white comes out here, black has to play here. Did I get that order right? What do you want me to see to do that again?
Black cuts and then white cuts.
White cuts. Black plays here. Plays here. Black plays here. White comes out. Black has to play here. Right? There's no options in any of these moves here. White plays here. No options. Here. Hey there. Go ahead. Do. Right. I don't want to mess this up. White comes here. This is sort of black's chance to chicken out. He's going to chicken out. If he could play here and force white here and then capture and then kind of be in a terrible spot, right? It's really hard. But instead, you gotta keep white as short of liberties as possible because he sees he's got this brilliant board coming up and it's just ridiculous. So, what does this move threaten to do for white?
Capture something.
Capture something, well, not this stone, obviously. Threatens to do this one, which is a squeezy spiral ladder, right? Ladder. And it also threatens this one, which is just a straight up ladder, this one, right? So, where does black play? Gotta break both ladders.
Atari's the 2 stones and then plays on the other.
Does he tarry the 2 stones?
White doesn't have to connect them.
And white's gonna come on the other side.
Right, if we Atari this side, white's gonna take these stones and catch everything in line. Yep, what?
Right here.
Close, but no cigar. This actually, if we play here, I can capture this and you still have the same problem. You'll need to move here, and this ladder will work. You're really close though. the correct answer is this one. And I would suggest to you that this whole fight, more or less visualized from this cross-cutting extension down here. Because it's mostly a one-way street. This whole thing pretty much can't go any other way. Awkward. Awkward penguin.
Can you,
The rest of the game, by the way, this is the rest of the game. White resigns. Or, yes, white. Sorry, there's two more moves. Okay, now what? Ladder doesn't work. And at the end of this, he's got enough liberties to come back and win because there are 3. Right? All of the nets and loose ladders here give black more liberties. Tries anything funky. Atari, Atari, Atari. And at the end of that, everything on the outside has enough liberties. Let's see. He tries. No. This one, we just capture the stones. I don't know. There's nothing here that works for white. It's kind of amazing. This stone right here just blows up everything. Cool. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, play some games. Make some game records. Send me some questions. Any questions? Any questions about anything?
Side
No.
note?
Yes,
Oh,
maybe.
sure. No, I think
Good?
it was okay if I.
Good? All right, great. Cool.